Right, 26th of September 2025, CRAZII Market Talk with KEL. CRAZII anytime, anywhere. Now, time check is about Singapore time 3:05 or Vietnam time, Indonesia time 2:05. So this morning we were talking about gold, and that was where we got this break off. So let's continue on gold, shall we? Now, this is gold chart as you can see on your screen right now. Now, gold basically this morning opening price was 3,750 and the MLP was 3,742. Okay, and we were talking that if the gold stays below OP, it will come down, and the first target it will be going is KTR -1, and the next target, if you still go lower, will be 3,714. That is the pivot 2 level. Now, one thing to note, I mentioned to you, the downside will be limited. That means not so simple because both the KSI and the KCX are all bullish right now. So let me show you what we ended just now was talking about the dollar chart. Yeah, let me bring you the dollar chart right now. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we can see something very clear regarding about the dollar chart. Yeah. Now the US dollar, the low came down to 96 area. That was what happened recently. And now it's trading at 98 area. So the difference about 250 pips. Yeah. So what we saw is that when the dollar basically goes up, the US dollar goes up. By right, the gold price should come down. Right? The gold price should come down. And if you look at it, the gold price indeed has came down. But the equation is not the same. The equation shows that the dollar went up by 250 pips, right? That's for the dollar. But the gold price, right, only came down less than $80. Now, this is not the usual number. So I will come out with a number later on during an MAO video, and I'll post it up by tomorrow. But the main thing is this, because of this, right, I feel that, okay, this is going to be very interesting, is that if the US dollar later is to come down, right, if the US dollar is to come down, then gold will likely regain its position to go to new high, all right, and the high recently was at 3,791, all right. The cash market did go past 3,800, yeah. So the CFD market, the highest level is 3,791. So if you ask me, if the dollar is to pull back maybe tomorrow, I mean maybe on Monday, Tuesday, then there's a very high chance gold can go back to 3,791 level. Now, the thing is this, based on what I'm seeing right now, tonight there are a few data coming in. Primary is a PCE data. So if that is going to happen, then what we're going to foresee is that the gold will likely pulls back to somewhere around the pivot level, right? The pivot level. And that's what 3,714, okay? So once we go around there, I believe the market will stop around there, okay? Now, for those who are in Vietnam, if you want to turn on the translation mode to Vietnamese, you can turn it on. Yeah, I think you go to under translation, you can actually do a, get it translated if I'm not wrong, yeah? Okay. All right, so that is the gold chart for the day chart. Now let's go into the 5-minute chart, okay? To understand better how would you have traded today. Okay, let's go. Disha, have you informed the rest of the people to come in that down we have a second session ongoing? Thank you. Okay, so this is the gold chart. I'm going to do it very slowly to let you understand how we traded gold this morning. Yeah? Okay. So first of all, the first hour of gold, we don't normally trade. Normally, we don't trade the first hour. I've said this before to you, so take note of that, yeah? Okay, so after that itself, right, there is a diamond, right, where you draw the diamond line. So by right itself, right, the diamond line, you draw until the next diamond, as you can see here. The thing is this, okay, everyone? Now, it's below OP. Now, below OP, we normally don't buy, okay? We sell. But if you sell because of the diamond line, the KSI was green and it was actually moving upwards. So from here, we know that the downside is kind of limited. So if you want to trade this particular trade, I will not encourage you. So you put a diamond line properly, okay, I put it like this. Then you will notice that the market did something interesting. It did went up above OP. Now, by going above OP, it's a very important hallmark to tell you that the market tried to interact with the big boys among themselves. And because it couldn't go higher, it reverses down and goes a CCYR. Now a CCYR below OP after touching OP, and the candlesticks turns red, and of course the KSI turns red. So this is a confirmed big sell, right? Big sell strategy, and that's where I also shorted gold. So I shorted gold somewhere around here, and because it's MLP, it hang around. But later itself, gold really came down and touched the KDR -1, where basically we all makes money. So it's very simple. As long as you remember the rules that now don't trade the first hour or so. Then after that, remember the OP rule: above OP buy, below OP sell. And to buy and sell, you still need to do one more thing: is check whether what type of the candle you have. And then after that, if there's diamond is available, that will be even better. And of course, the KSI will give you the sizing. Like just now, if you sell here, the KSI was green, you sell small, right? But just now, if you sell here and the KSI is red, then you can sell big, big sell, yeah? So there is a reason why the same thing, but different outcome. So you look at it right over here. This is the price is here and the price is here, the same, identical. But this guy, the KSI was green. This guy, the KSI was red. So that's why the impact gave to the sell side in the second wave itself. So traders, whenever you trade a 5-minute chart, right, you need to know where is the positioning of the KSI first and look at the diamond that's available. Then of course follow through. It's a buy and sell. Yeah. Okay. So that is what happened for the first trade. Now after that, right, you can see that the gold gets sideways. And of course, on hindsight, it was a double diamond at the bottom that pushed the market higher. But one thing to note that we don't buy below OP unless you are PTP trained and you know exactly what to do. Then of course we will allow you to that. But if not, then just give it a miss. Yeah. So gold, as you can see right now, has went up after the double diamond. And of course, the price goes up and up and up. Okay, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But what I want to see is that after that, what happened next, right? So if the gold now again come down below OP, the question you ask is that, KEL, would it go down to back to the KTR -1? Now, one thing to note, guys, earlier this morning already, the gold came down all the way and triggered KTR -1. So what makes you think that the market will give you another -1 again? The chances are not very high. So in order to do that, if you really insist, you try to sell very near to the OP level so that you know that below OP is a sell. You don't need to wait for this to happen, yeah? Because to maximize your gain and you can set trailing stop. Okay, let's say you purchase it right now. Okay, so the first target will be still back to KTR -1. And if you think that -1 is still not enough for you, you want to have bigger pie, then you can make it smaller. And you can see that the KTR -2 happened to be 3720. 3720. Now this was the number that I wanted to buy. Okay. All right. 3720. Yeah. Okay. So if gold do come down, okay. Sorry, there's some error here. The next level will be 3720. Yeah. Correct. And come down here first, break below 3735, then the market can go up. You mean in iron? Okay, all right. I'm currently now working in my friend's office in Hanoi, Vietnam. Yeah. Okay. So now this thing is this. You can see we zoom in the picture. Okay, can you see a diamond? There we go. That's a diamond at here, right? So now it's below OP, CCYR. So by right just now you can short gold, okay? You can short gold. But the thing is this now gold is now supported by the MLP. So only when the market goes below the MLP, then you can see gold coming down again to 3735. And then the next number will be 3720. Okay? So that is the gold chart for now at this moment. Now, do know at 8:30 we have the PCE data, and the market seemingly kind of expected that data will be on a good side. Interesting. Okay. Okay, now let's look at the next market for today. And the next day chart we're looking at will be on oil. Now, I've given you a very strong buy signal on oil 2 days ago, and I told you that oil can buy at about $64, and I tell you what's the reason. And for Singapore side, I give you a little bit more reason than the usual. But of course, that's my personal perspective. Yeah, and it's too sensitive, so that's why I didn't share with my other friends. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, when you don't see a diamond, don't panic, right click and then press refresh. The diamond will come out. And in this case right now, the diamond happened 2 days ago. Can you see that? That's why the market went up. But if you look at it carefully, you will know that the market stays above the MLP after trading it. Now, I told you before, right? One way to know whether the market turned around is to look at the MLP of the other day, the day before, okay, yesterday's chart, and then draw the MLP. If the market goes down to the MLP and do a reversal at the MLP, usually it's a very bullish indication, bullish for buying. Yeah. Yes, you may say, but isn't that this is like not possible? I say that, well, you just take my word for that because I've seen this enough. And the next thing is look at it carefully. If you look at it, all right. Okay, you can see over here. Give two haha. Okay. So you can see over here, right, the market actually stays above the diamond line, right? You can see it gave above diamond line, and the KSI was green, and the KCX was yellow. I mean, the candle was yellow, the KCX was black. So this gives a very strong buy signal, yeah, very strong buy signal. So crude oil now is heavily resisted by the MA 200 and the price 65.60. So we have a high just now of 65.63. So the market was tested, or at least they get to see this. So now the next question will be, if the market can really break above the MA 200, where will it go? So based on KCB, we're going to see this guy that is about 65.69. Okay, so that is the KCB if the market do go up. Sorry, for the KCB for the crude oil, if the crude oil goes up. And of course, if you look at it one more time, if it continue to go up, if it go even going high to $66.35. Now, if you look carefully on the historical chart of crude oil, let me bring it to you, everyone. You notice that it's very clear when you see a KCX. And it comes with a red to yellow, it's always a good buy day. And of course, usually when that happens, the diamond will be there. So diamond is the best friend, yeah? So if you look at it right now, if the market stays, the color change from red to yellow, in a bullish market setting, it will become yellow the next day, and there'll be a further upside. So you can see from here right now that for oil, it's although up by 4 days, but it's still very small, tight range. So once you have a bigger range, we will see oil moving up. And one thing to note, for those who are referring to this candlestick theory, you do see there's a bull arm forming, right? Okay, so I suspect that this is the turning point for oil, and I think that oil may be going up to all the way here itself, and that number is, it's not a fantastic number, it's $68, right? I think that is how the thing will be moving towards the $68 target. Okay. All right, so that clears my screen once again. So that is the US crude oil. Let's look at the Bitcoin that we talked about. Now, Bitcoin has a very interesting relationship between Bitcoin and the stock market. Yeah, get a drink first. Okay, so Bitcoin came off because there is some negative news on it. All right. So the question is, can Bitcoin continue to go higher? Now, one thing to know, I told you before, Bitcoin and NASDAQ has a very interesting pattern. So when the market came down on this particular day. You can see the market came down on the 20, wait a minute, 20, 22nd of September. That is like a few days ago. Okay, so what day again? 24th, right? 24th, 22nd September. Let me just gonna bring this in, yeah. Okay. Okay, can everyone see that? Okay. So you can see that on the day that the market is coming down, okay, you can see on the screen, the market is just only here, which is like, you know, somewhere around here, okay? Yeah. So it doesn't give you any information, but for us to sell, right, one day beforehand, which is this day, we already got some information that the crude oil might be coming, the Bitcoin coming down. Wait a minute, this Bitcoin, oh my gosh, sorry, my bad here. Yeah, so which means that when the Bitcoin was already down, right, the Nasdaq was somewhere around here. So when we got the information was one day beforehand, which is here. So which means that 2 days before the Nasdaq came off, right, we already know that the Bitcoin is coming down through the KSI. And then after that, the market had to go down, right, the next 4 days. Then the Nasdaq had to peel down. Can you see that? So we do have some information in advance to know that the market is coming down just through the Bitcoin movement. Okay, so that's why the last few days I was shorting Bitcoin and shorting this Nasdaq, because we kind of feel that this thing is going to happen soon. So of course the thing is this: if the Bitcoin do actually recover, then the Nasdaq will also follow through and get even higher. So guys, watch out for the Bitcoin. As some Bitcoin stays up, the market overall is still okay. If the Bitcoin stays down, then do expect there will be more selling to come on the indices. All right, all clear? If all clear, press number 2 right now. Okay, so this is the Ethereum, as you can see from Ethereum chart. Now, one thing to note, someone feedback to me, KEL, I'm losing money because of CRAZII. I say, why? Because you see, the KSI has been green, so I've been buying and buying and buying. So guys, please listen to me. The first rule of the game is follow OP. If the market is above OP, CCRY, red to yellow, you buy. If it's below OP, CCYR, you mean yellow to red, you sell. So if you look at this, the market from day one has been basically a red candle. Next two is that it stays below OP. All right. So Ethereum itself has been giving a very strong signal that the market is weak. But people say that no, KL, your KSI is green, so we are at fault. Now, this one, let me be upfront here. There's a few reasons that why KSI can be green. First of all, it could be the really seriously mathematical issue. No, I don't think so. So this one likely is that because of storage that we levy there is a little bit, maybe overdone. So that's why the memory space not only. Or third thing itself, right? It's just because the boys are buying because they were the ones selling. They were the one when the market was going up. Okay, you can see that the KSI is going up, but the Ethereum is coming down. So most likely is that they are cutting losses, which means because when the market was going up, right, you can see that the here itself is really more like a losing business. Okay, so if you ask me on this case, if you really look at me now, I will tell you that Ethereum most likely will travel down to pivot 2 at 3725 probably this week, okay? And then when that all happen, I think then you may want to consider for some buying. Since the KSI is green, that means that the market is still very bullish, but then the market is below, if it's straight below OP, then you don't need to be bothered. So if you look carefully, this is the 5-minute chart right now, you can see that the Ethereum is trying to struggle itself to stay above the OP price. Let me just clear it up. Okay, and then go for it. So if there's going to be any movement for the Ethereum, the upside itself is 3161. Okay, 3161. Okay, 41678. This one is, wait a minute. Okay, there's something wrong on my side here again. If it goes up to 3955 is the pivot one, and the upside is MLP itself is 4022. Okay, but then if the market do pull back, watch out for this 3725 would be the pivot 2 level. Yeah. Now, one thing to note that because the KSI is green, right? Some people think that, hey, KEL, can I just buy and buy, and hopefully later on it will go back again? Now, you cannot have this thing. Although by elephant trade, this nothing do happen. But there's one very important condition is that the market must break the previous day high. And you can see right now the market is still considered on the way down. Yeah. So now it's not the time to really go in to buy Ethereum, because now we can see that it's now it's not going with the direction that what it's supposed to see. So now the market is although above OP, but if you really want to buy, then buy small because of that. Okay, just buy small, yeah. Do not buy big. Okay, so let's just look at the last one. It's a Germany DAX before we end this session. Apology, my internet seems to be breaking up a little bit. That's okay. Now this is the DAX session. Now DAX has been very, very interesting. If you look carefully, all the way it has been red in color. Okay. So what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's just that the phenomenon is not easy to have sideways for so many days. Okay, so very simple. We have the gonna have a okay, never mind. Let's just take a look at this. Is the DAX market right now. Now the DAX today, the pivot one, as you can see, is 23,609, and the MLP is being blocked. Now when MLP is being blocked, right, you need to do just double click on one of the prices and gently move it away. So MLP is the 23,641, which now we are very nearby. So what if the market touch MLP? Well, based on what is happening right now, if touch MLP, it will likely be going upwards. Okay, why is it so? Because it's flying up. Right, the thing is that you may say KSI is red. No worry about KSI. You just concentrate on the coloration and the OP. The KSI is meant for sizing. All right. So if the size is not really with you, then you just have to reduce size. So let's say you want to buy 0.5 lots, but because you see that the KSI is red, so you can enter 0.3 lots, but the stop loss don't change. Yeah, the stop loss retain the same figure. Okay. So if you look at DAX right now, it's really sideways, and if you look at it, it's very red, yellow, red, yellow. We call it as the zebra. So when you have a zebra formation in the chart, that means that very, very soon there will be a big movement coming in this way or this way. So I'm not too sure the market will go to which direction, but most likely I hope so it will go this way. So at least it's safe and sound. Yeah. Okay. So this is the CRAZII Market Talk with everybody. I hope you understand this. I hope you understand how we draw the lines and you understand the macro feel. All right. So if you have any more questions, I can more than free to answer you. All right. If not, let me just throw it to you on Hang Seng, something that a friend of mine was using this morning. Now, Hang Seng this morning opening price was simple as well at 26,375, and the MLP was 26,388. All right, so the thing is this, you look carefully, it was done with you can see here, there is this so-called very bright, supposedly stone, whereby you have to pledge your loyalty over here itself, and you can see that the DJDD is stand buying. So the thing is this morning, when the market touched the MLP and rejected OP and come down below pivot 2 at 26262, all right, we expect the market to fall. And when it fell itself, the market really fell right on the track here, which is the you can see from here. All right, you can see there's a KEL trap over here at 25,997. Okay, so where are we right now? We are 978. Yeah, we are now about probably $200 plus to go down to the first KCB at 25978. If we pay a bit more to the downside, we can see 25,672. Okay. Now all these levels, all the technicals level are all calculated for you. You do not need to count. You just basically go down and get yourself a right trade to go in and then just follow through. So that's Hang Seng this morning. You see Hang Seng go down first, went up, okay, then come down, then go up again. So until here, right, where it hit the MLP, this is what I did. Okay, first of all, I put a line. Okay, put a line at the candle that has a diamond. All right, why did I put this guy here? Because this guy is very over. The nearest guy is this guy here. Okay, got it. So after that, the market gives us the go ahead, and of course, the market below OP, below this this particular trade in Hong Kong, and also plus it is as a diamond line. It was a pure sell. First target, it should be in KTR -1 and 1. The second target was KTR -2, and of course, KTR 3 is the level. Right? So one thing is that you have to understand is that when you are trading the market, the first trade usually is the toughest. And after that, when the market goes into a sideways trend, it will be very difficult. But once you have the trend and start to go and close below, the levels, it will shortly will go to the next level. Yeah. So this is something that is interesting to take note of. Okay. So that will be all for today's session. I'm very sorry for today's intermission break earlier, but I try my best. I try to find office for you. Okay, so because here's been dark here, I cannot see my chart properly. Yeah, so I apologize for any wrong words and coding I said. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Take care. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye-bye.